Hi everyone, in this week's video we are discussing how to conduct a manual right to work check. We've had a couple of queries from clients on exactly what needs to be done once the information is provided rather than looking at the individual documents that might have to be obtained. So just by way of background, the Home Office does regularly publish and update a guide to undertaking right to work checks as part of the duty to prevent illegal working. Businesses can undertake a manual right to work check. They can use an identity service provider for British and Irish citizens, which is an external organisation that can undertake those checks. Or for non-British and non-Irish citizens, a Home Office online right to work check can be provided. So this video is talking about manual checks where we have the documents in front of us, and this is from two lists depending on the type of document that's provided. So the Home Office provides list A and list B, and there is sometimes one document such as a British passport or a combination of documents if the individual has a particular immigration status which needs to be provided. And on a manual check, it's absolutely vital that those are original documents, so an employee cannot bring in a scanned copy or a picture on the phone, for example, of those documents. So that's step one, obtain the originals. Step two is to check them. We need to understand whether the documents are genuine, and we also need to understand whether the person stood in front of us as our new employee is the rightful holder and allowed to do the type of work that we are offering. So it's one thing having legitimate documents, it's another to check that somebody is actually a true likeness of the person in the images of the documents that they're providing. So the guidance states that we must check that photographs and dates of birth are consistent across all documents and are consistent with the person's appearance so that we can detect any impersonation. We need to check for expiry dates on any permission to be in the UK, and that's if we're talking about people who do not have the right to remain indefinitely in the UK or non-British citizens. If there are any work restrictions, we need to understand whether they can do the type of work that's on offer. So restrictions might, for example, prevent individuals working in certain industries or working, for example, on a student visa for working more than 20 hours in term time. We need to make a determination as to whether those documents are genuine and haven't been tampered with and belong to the holder. And the final point to make here is that if there is any difference in names across documents, that needs to be explained by evidence. So we did have a question from a client who had an individual with a passport in one name, but were going by a different name because they'd been married previously. So we needed to obtain the original marriage certificate just to satisfy ourselves that that was the reason for the difference in names and that the person presenting these documents was indeed the holder of these documents. Step three is then that we need to take a copy. So that must be in a format which can't be altered manually, and that can be retained either in electronic or hard copy. We should keep a secure record of the date on when that check was undertaken. The guidance says that with the passport, it's any page with the expiry date, nationality, date of birth, so everything that you'd expect to see. Any biometric details and any page of the passport, which is being phased out at the moment, which contains a visa or entry stamp. For some individuals, they may, for example, have obtained indefinite leave to remain possibly 20 years ago. So again, it is worth looking through, or it's necessary to look through the passport to find the pages that might be relevant. There may also be other documents, because again, we talked about certain documents from List A and List B. Other documents, such as letters from the Home Office or immigration status documents, will need to be taken and copies taken as well. And finally, the guidance states that those copies should be kept for the duration of the worker's employment and for 2 years afterwards, then securely destroyed. And it is vital as well that those checks are undertaken before the employee starts, so it should be as part of your pre-recruitment checks to ensure that we're not employing somebody who doesn't have the right to work in the UK. So I hope that was helpful. If you've got any other queries on checking right to work documents or anything employment law generally, please do get in touch. Visit the website chadwicklawrence.co.uk or email employmenthub@chadlaw.co.uk. Thank you.